and sisters, it's your brother G World 7_D doing my little exercise, get that cardio in, feeling good. Yeah, I wanted to continue to tell brothers and sisters, Aboriginal Americans, Aboriginal Black Americans, but Aboriginal Americans, I emphasize Black because this is what I'm talking to. Know who you are and do not allow others to tell you who you are, even though some of them may look like you. And they will, like Jabari, talk about certain documentations and information, but prop up the status quo information, and they are the biggest liar, devils, and distortionists you'll find. I remember one clown came on my page, man, and one of them Pan-African goofs, and tried to push an article saying that the original people in South America weren't black. They were like some pale-skinned people of Mongolian descent, when the original so-called Mongolian people were darker Negro people with frizzy hair. But yeah, he tried to pull that article, and I told that fool, man, that's fake. He said, well, you would say that. I said, these Pan-Africans, man, a lot of them are a joke, man, because they know that their game is over, and they realize that most of our people are moving away from that and don't want to hear that. They're really starting to study truth, man. There's some of our people still yelling at 80 stuff, man. We're not no descendant of slaves. All right, we had a history here that goes back thousands of years, all right, as the original Indians. That's our history. We are the original Indians. And we identified ourselves with the various different names, our various different names that we had here of the different nations. All right. But, what else was I saying? Oh, yeah. But when you have individuals who are not of your lineage, and he's going to sit there and try to dictate and tell you who you are, that's a problem, man. Because a lot of them don't truly know who they are, because they want to continue to push this slave narrative that you was a slave. They were prisoners of war. Technically, they're prisoners of war. All right? But, excuse me, but the whole narrative of just saying you're a descendant of a slave is a bad narrative. It is not accurate on who you truly are. But see, that's what these individuals want you to say, because you're basically being erased to your true history and your true ownership, governorship of this land. This is your land. You're not a foreigner. When you keep saying you're African, I tell you this all the time, you make yourself into a foreigner. We're not foreigners. And then Umar Johnson, who's Caribbean, who's very disrespectful. He claims to be Caribbean. He's very disrespectful, and he's extremely ignorant, man. American Africans. I scratch my head, man. He's trying to denationalize us or try to make us foreigners. He's ignorant, man. He is extremely ignorant, man. He's one of the Negroes who went through the educational system, got his degrees, and dumb as hell. I remember Kwame Ture, the dude from the Caribbean, Stokely Carmichael, said, man, these Negroes going to school and they come out dumber than what they went in, man. And that's what these Negroes doing. And he's a perfect example. He's very disrespectful. But most black Americans not listening to his ass, man. They don't listen to that dude. But for him to be disrespectful like that, I know a lot of brothers and sisters who have given him money, which I gave him nothing. Who have given him money, man, they feel they had like egg in their face right now. Or toss salad thrown on their damn head. Because that man, he just, I'm all for you starting your own school. I'm all for that. But I said it before, other people have stated this, what he's going to be teaching them, man? He's teaching them the descendant of slaves that they're African. And he keep pushing it. And then we continue to allow people who are foreign to this land steal their history. I said this before. When you study the history in the heat climax in Peru, the land of Horus, Heru, let me tell you something, man. The heat index is so damn hot there and warm there. It gets very warm there. It's genetically impossible for pale-skinned people to walk around in a land where the people would shave off different parts of the hair off the different parts of their body. They wore no clothing to light clothing to very little clothing. Or let me say this, light clothing, little clothing to no clothing. Now how the hell are they gonna be the pale people who run around day who claim to wear them damn outfits, man? It doesn't make any sense because people die of skin cancer. They can't take the UV rays of the sun, the heat of the sun like that. That's what the darker skin is for. So all you gotta do is really study this history, man. Use common sense a lot of the time. It'll let you know this information. Man, I had come across a book, my father's old book, something about Afro-American. I was like, oh my God. And that was like late 60s, very early 70s. That term didn't stick, thank goodness. But, you know, I'm going to look at this book, man. This is an old book. It had to be like the mid to late 60s book. Yeah, I'm gonna look at that book. That's when his book, when he was a teacher, you know, before he moved to administration. But this is the stuff he had back in the 60s, man. And I seen some of his old classes in the 60s, man. It's tripped out that you had more male teachers back then. Yeah, interesting. More male, they had these little classroom teachers. Obviously, the school was black, but you had more black and white male teachers at this black elementary school on the west side of Chicago. You know, so times have changed, man. Now the teachers are mostly white women. They screw these damn kids up, man. But yet these Negroes, we got some good teachers here. We go to this school, and our teachers good. Man, them white teachers schooling your ass, man, big time. They just continue to lie. But I move on from that. I want, like I said over and over in other videos, man, stop saying you're a descendant of African slaves. You're relegating your history to a fake-ass timeline, man, these people are giving you. These people have done a masterful job of trying to erase your history. You know, they didn't totally erase your history, they just hiding it, or trying to hide it. But so many times our ancestors are telling us. They're telling us, man. And every time some black person's dug up on African burial ground, and first of all, they ain't dressed themselves in no goddamn African, man. That's more of a modern archaeological terminology. When they see a black person, they want to instantly say African. And that's so racist, man. But that's what these fools do, because by knowledge of something else, they will have to come to the grips that the original people of this planet were so-called black people. Black people are aboriginal to this planet, but many of us still don't understand that. And I'm going to continue to hammer this, man. You're not descendant of African slaves. You're just not. And that is something that we're going to have to truly come to grips to. We're going to have to truly understand. We're going to have to really understand who we truly are and stop with this mess that you're a descendant of somebody in shackles brought here on a ship. That is a lie. But unfortunately, like I said so many times, your educators, your Negro educators, your Negrito educators will continue to teach you that. Because that's all they're about. They're not about, they're about the status quo, getting a pat in the head and getting paid by their oppressor, which is sick. But this is what you're getting, this is what you get, and this is what you have. You know, I always get on the so-called black boule because most of them have been a big time part of the problem, man. Like I said, I grew up around the boule. I grew up around Jack and Jill Negroes who went to Morehouse, all right, Spelman, Georgetown, Michigan, Purdue. My brother went to Purdue, Calumet, which is a branch of Purdue. He went to Purdue. Hell, to some degree, the Harvard of Chicago, UIC. which my sister went to, UIC, it was called Circle Campus, University of Illinois, Chicago. It's a esteemed academic university in the city of Chicago. But yeah, so I know about these, the Black Boule and the AKA organization that's over in Hyde Park, right there near Jackson Park, right across the street from Jackson Park, not far from the Museum of Science and Industry, on the south side, where they building that Obama Museum around that area, man. Damn, man, that's a beautiful park. They don't destroy it for some damn presidential museum, man. They don't need that mess, man. But I digress. we got to realize that there's enemies amongst us that look like us. We got to get out that mindset, and that was a downfall in the 60s and 70s when you just look at someone black and you think they're down. Yeah, that went into the 80s too. Oh, they black, man, they just down. No, you got to get out of there, man. You got to realize that not all skin folks are kin folks. It's an old saying, but it's so true. Not all skin folks are kin folks. So you're gonna have to understand that and realize that there are people out here who have been heavily conditioned, and they want to continue to try to condition you to think like a slave or be robotic in your thinking. So you're gonna have to basically do your own research and do your own study. Do your studying, learn it, and master it. I give you some books, information, because I want you to get this information for yourself. I'm not going to keep this information to myself like that. I want you, brothers and sisters, to obtain this information and to get this information that I have, because it's been there. This the slave narrative that you were just a slave from Africa, that has to stop. That really has to stop. And when you get, like I said, when you get these Jack Daniel Negro historians, man, who continue to push that slave narrative. It's sad. And there's many popular YouTube pages who are doing that. Then also, like I said, I had a couple idiots come on my page, man, talking about those black Europeans were just damn Africans. I was just like, and they try to argue me on that. And try to name books that I thought that I didn't know nothing about, which I did, and I mentioned that before, that I read, man. Not only I read that, man, but I read everything they read and more. These people are very arrogant, man. They think they can tell you about your history. That is extremely arrogant, man. Ignorant, arrogant, and full of it. But this is what we have nowadays. And this is why we need to take control of our true history. Regain our true knowledge of knowing ourselves and taking pride in ourselves. So we can't sit up here and act like that, there's not an agenda to try to destroy us, and there is. There's a big time agenda to try to not only wipe us out, but wipe our very existence out, erase everything that we have done. When you looked at Bonaparte, you see those are Negroes, man. You see the hair, how they look. They weren't mestizos. And then you get these people coming on my page, gonna sit there and say, you Africans, first of all, I'm not an African, but you damn so-called black people brought in a slave ship. Stop trying to steal our history. No, you've been stealing ours. You've been stealing ours. So this is very important for us to stop this mess, man. We're gonna have to basically put brothers and sisters in check. We're still pushing that slave narrative and calling that ADOS stuff, man, because we're not ADOS, man. We're not no goddamn ADOS. We are the Aboriginal people in this land. I'm not descending no damn slave. Some of my ancestors were prisoners of war, they were enslaved, all right? But we're not no damn ADOS, and I'm gonna make this clear. Don't use that term. I think that's a disgusting term because we're not descendants of no damn slaves. All right, brothers and sisters, it's your brother G World, 7 a day, man. Out here doing my walk down now. I did my running, doing my walk down. All right, brothers and sisters, man. I want to tell you this, I love you. Peace and love, man. Trying to get my body built like what that old song by Ashford and Simpson, solid as a rock. Get my body built solid as a rock, baby. Yeah. All right, brothers and sisters, I love you. Peace and love.